And now for something completely different. The Liebherr R9800 excavator is one of the largest mining machines in the world. Here we see the machine working in backhoe configuration, and when it works like this it sits higher than the trucks it's loading. As an alternative configuration it comes as a mining shovel. The real machine is huge, weighing 800 tons. It's been modelled before in 1:50 scale diecast, and now it's been introduced as a Lego Technic model. The pieces come in a giant box, and in addition you need batteries and also a smartphone. Opening up the box, first out is a smaller box containing motors and smart hubs. And then we have bags of parts. And there are lots of bags of lots of parts, because there are over 4,000 parts in total. Having got many bags of parts out, there's another box. And you guessed it right, it's full of lots more bags of parts. Also included is a bag containing some fat books. In addition to the 2 books, there are 2 pages of stickers, and these get applied to the model as graphics. Let's take a look at the books, and there are 2 volumes of them, and they are packed full of building instructions. They are entirely pictorial, and if you follow them precisely, you won't have a problem building the model. For the assembly, the instructions are divided into 5 distinct stages, and the bags of parts are numbered for the stages. But within any given stage, any part can be in any bag, which can make them hard to find. Let's have a look at the first steps 1 to 4, and a nice touch is that there are templates for the variable length pieces, so you know you've found the right one. And assuming you found the right parts, you just follow the pictorial instructions. So in one sense it's all easy and the instructions are high quality and easy to follow. But what you do have to do every step of the way is to concentrate and follow the instructions exactly. If you make a mistake it might not become apparent till much later in the build, and then it becomes quite difficult to rectify it. Anyway, this is steps 1 to 4, and after this there are only another 996 steps to go. So you probably need 12 hours or more to assemble the model completely. This is a motorized model, so after each step you best check the construction, and the app is programmed to allow you to do this. And again, this is all very sensible because you don't want to get to the end of the build only to find that something you did right at the start doesn't work properly. Once you've tested the functionality, the app then invites you to get on with the next stage of the build. So section 1 was the undercarriage, and the next piece takes you up and builds most of the body, and here we're testing 2 of the hydraulic rams. After that the next stage builds most of the boom and stick, and again there's more sectional testing of the electric motors. Stage 4 completes much of the roof of the body, and when you complete stage 5 you've completed the model. For the detail we'll compare it to the 1:50 scale diecast model of the R9800, and as you can see it's bigger, so let's do a dim check, and it's about 12 inches or 30 centimeters tall, and in this pose it's about 23 inches or 60 centimeters long. The diecast model on the left has enhanced metal tracks, and the Lego version has made a good job of replicating the track frames. That includes having 3 top rollers, and although the Lego drive sprocket does look different, it is a nice touch that it has the Liebherr name on it. One difference is that the Lego model does have fewer bottom rollers. The big Liebherr can be equipped with a descending staircase, and within the limitations of the size of Lego parts, a good job's been done with that and the handrails. The cab has got slats on the window and these are replicated on the Lego model. And although the Lego model doesn't have a windscreen, there is a seat detailed inside. And if you look closely, there's a more detailed console on the Lego model. There are lots of grills down one side of the body, and these are replicated on the Lego model by applying graphics. If we move around to the large counterweight at the rear, stick-on graphics again do the job of providing detail. Up on top, the reproduction of detail is very good on the Lego model, and that includes the exhaust system and air intakes, and also the modelling of the fire suppression system. Another nice touch is that the beacon lights have been reproduced. A highlight of the die-cast model is the fans you can see below the grille, and that's also been replicated on the Lego model, and in fact the fans can also be rotated when you build it. The hydraulics are very complicated on the real machine, and although the Lego model simplifies it somewhat, it does look very effective. The 9800 graphic has been reproduced on the boom, and the hydraulic connectors are done very well too. One modelling compromise to make the Lego mechanics work is that the main boom rams on the boom and on the bucket have been reversed in direction from the real machine. Another nice touch is the armoured protection for the hydraulics on the stick. The big shovel has been replicated well, and in fact the whole front of it is one large special Lego moulding. The teeth on it have been replicated very nicely. Included with the Lego model is a whole bag of parts which are to be used as rocks. But we'll go for something that looks a little bit more realistic, and that's by using granulated cork. And the only thing to be careful of is not to get small pieces of cork in the mechanisms. There are no Lego men included with the model, but in fact they seem to be more or less the right scale. And if you've got a mechanic and a set of tools, you can do some fixing too. The major feature of this model is that it's fully controlled by smartphone. Here the app is loaded up and you can see that there are a couple of joysticks at the bottom, and you can move those to replicate the functions of the machine. To help you to learn how to use it, there's a little training session within the app, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy to use. The control is not as nice as it would be with physical joysticks, but there is proportionality, so the more you move the joystick, the faster the movement. And with some practice, you can control the model very well. There are also two sliders which approximate to levers for operating the tracks. And the tracks work independently, so you can work them separately or together. Another nice touch on the app is that you can control the functions in a different way. And as you can see here, it works by using your finger to drag a graphic of the boom and stick. You effectively draw the configuration that you want to achieve, and the model responds exactly. So this is a quick and easy way to get exactly what you want. Let's now take a look at some of the non-motorized functionality, and we begin by opening two doors on the engine bay. And when you look inside, you can see some detailing. And this is a nicely produced little feature. There is a smart hub inside the body, so to get access to it you lift a flap on top, and then you can get inside to switch it on. Also, we mentioned before the lowering staircase, and that's held in place by a latch, and then you can lower the staircase. Let's now run a test and see how powerful the crawler tracks are, and we'll do that by running the model up a gradient. Here we're starting with already quite a steep gradient of 12 degrees, and the model climbs it confidently. Let's try a much stiffer test, and this time we go up to 18 degrees. And our R9800 is huffing and puffing a bit, but it still climbs up the slope. At this grade, I imagine the model is probably doing better than the real machine can do. Let's push it further and go for 22 degrees. And at that point the model's actually overbalancing in the face of the steep grade. Let's move on and now test the emptying of the shovel, and that works very well and enables a clean discharge. This is a face shovel, so it really needs to be digging into a face of rock, and the digging you can achieve depends on the force you can get on the bucket. Here we're digging our cork fragments, which are lightweight, and if you control the shovel carefully you can get a decent amount in it. So with the shovel loaded we rotate around and look for the mining truck. And all we can find is a Liebherr T264 in 1:50 scale. But it would be nice if there was a Lego Technic mining truck to fit the excavator. As you can see here, one of the problems with digging is that the model is actually a bit light, so on a smooth surface it pushes itself away rather than digs. But again, with some more careful shovel control, you can get a decent shovel fall. The control system has got many other features, but here's one that's particularly interesting. You can set the system to record the movements that you're making with the model. So here we're just doing a short sequence where we raise the boom, and then we'll rotate to the right a little way. That's the sequence we want, so we'll press finish recording, and then we're invited to give our sequence a name. Unfortunately, because the Cranes etc. team are somewhat short of imagination, we'll just give the sequence the name Move. We enter that name, and then if we press the tick, that sequence gets saved as a recording. Now we've put the model back where it was, so we'll take our sequence, put it on the play line, and then press play. And then the model does exactly what we've programmed it to do. This is a large and good looking model of the Liebherr R9800. The instructions and parts are high quality and it all fits together very well. And what really impresses is the high quality control system. It's sophisticated, works well with lots of possibilities. Overall, this model is excellent.